In current times, the retail game store is dying. If you do find a retail game store, it's likely to be a GameStop, a national corporate chain. We're in an era where most people download their games on Steam, Nintendo eShop, PlayStation Store, or Xbox Live. Independent game stores are rare and usually a gold mine. Somehow, in Geneva, New York, a town with no GameStop, there is a mom and pop shop. The sign on the door simply reads, "New and used video games." But Good Game is so much more than that, especially to the first person I'd like us to talk to. I did not plan to interview Daniel.
This place really has just brought a lot of joy to me. It really gives me a place to be when I'm stuck at home, and really it gives me I've made so many friends because of this place.
What games or things have you done here that have made you some friends?
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. Huh? Let's take a look at this. You a Smash Bros. 4 player or Melee? All of them?
Four. Four.
Gotcha.
I cannot stand Melee. Do you want some gameplay or?
Sure. Yeah. You can talk while doing gameplay. That'll be like really cool shot actually.
So I just gotta get into this real quick. So I am a Sonic main. I am a bit iffy. People don't like me.
Oh, by the way, when you play Smash, do you strictly come here to play it, or do you have it at home too?
I had it at home, but, and this is going to sound kind of stupid, I lost the power cord for my Wii U, because a while back, this place actually got robbed.
Oh,
this
shit.
Wii U here. The Wii U got stolen, so I was bringing my Wii U down for people to use.
That exact Wii U got stolen?
Yeah, we actually got it back.
Holy shit, how'd that happen?
Time. The police found the people that had it, but they needed it for evidence for the investigation.
Okay. Nice.
They got it back, but in the process of, because I'd ride my bike to bring my bag down with my Wii U, I guess I lost my power cord somewhere along the line, and I haven't been able to play at home in years.
Damn.
So, feels bad. I still have the Wii U and everything set up.
Just not that damn power cord. Did
Yeah.
they sell power cords separately online?
They do, but I don't have the $20 for it.
I see.
And I already got the one Christmas gift I'm getting this year, and that's a pair of studio-grade headphones.
Those are great.
When I hung out here more often in my freshman year of college, this window was a window instead of boards. This must be where the robbery took place. That's heartbreaking, especially for Daniel and his lost Wii U power cable. But it's uplifting that Daniel and the community still play Smash here anyway. Good Game can provide the power cable that Daniel no longer has. And so he gets to use his Wii U there, and that's all the more reason to go there, which Daniel would be doing anyway. Daniel and his friends still have a place to play. Speaking of place to play, the next person we're going to talk to is Justin, who is the co-owner of Good Game. I'm going to have him say some words to us about giving people a place to play. People includes me there. My theme house, Choose Your Own Adventure HWS, has been running events at Good Game for free.
Good Game charged no venue fee because there were no prizes. You want to talk about the philosophical side of that decision?
Sure.
Cool.
So basically, when I was younger, like in my teens, I always wanted some place to hang out. Some place that was safe but fun. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really ever have that as a kid, so as an adult I always wanted that for somebody else. And we tested it out when we first started out. It felt good. It looks good when our store's full and kids are having fun, so it's a good image for people to come in and see. And it's just something I always wanted, so I mean, I didn't really want to charge for that. It was just an experience that I always wanted. So.
Yeah, that's great. What year was that when you and your brother, I assume,
started?
Yes.
2011.
2011. Okay, so it's pretty new still.
Yeah,
Ish.
by business standards.
Business standards, yeah, 6 years ago.
Sure.
Cool. So that's funny. Like 2011. at that point, the games market was already kind of digitalizing, if that's a term, becoming downloadable, and most of the mom and pop kind of game shops or hobby shops were becoming game stopped. And I'm just curious, and this I guess is a more pointed question than the previous general ones, but the survivability or thrivability of a used game store slash hobby shop slash buy old bullshit store like Good Game.
Sure.
How's the business side of that work
Market's
generally?
not very good.
Okay.
There hasn't been a lot of new games. It's bad timing. PS4 came out a year earlier than expected, so Xbox One followed suit shortly after, and there were no games on the market because they both released so early.
Yeah.
So most of the games for that you won't even see till mid next year, like the big AAA titles.
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty rough 2 years, 2.5 years, just based off of that alone. Digital downloads have never been competition because you can't trade in a digital download.
Right.
So if you want your 50% back, usually you buy a hard copy. But if you have to have it at midnight, then sure, you can download it.
And you said 50% back. Does that mean
Roughly, like, let's say you buy a game for $60.
Yep.
The typical rule of thumb is you're going to get 30 for it. Even if it's a day later. We tend to be a little bit more flexible because our stock isn't as much as like a GameStop or something.
Yeah, but the thing about a GameStop is on trade-in they only give like $5 or less for almost anything.
Yeah, beyond a few weeks after release date, the numbers go really fast.
Yeah. So that's great because it creates this kind of like very local, good game specific game economy, right? People bring in discs, and I'm remembering one specific example. I bought a copy of a PS2 Echo the Dolphin game, and it had a sticker on it, like a fully printed sticker, like, if found, please call or return to Eric T. Van Sickle, 315-781, some phone number.
Sure.
I just like love that like every single used game disc or case just kind of can tell this story. Like,
well, it's more of an 80s mindset, really.
Yeah.
'Cause it used to be taboo to be like a video gamer or something more in the 80s, early 90s, but now everybody plays games, and
Literally
it's every walk
everybody.
of life, really. You
Yeah.
know, you see one guy, a police officer or something, go-to guy, he plays Madden every day, or hangs with his friends online nowadays. So I don't know. I think that's just kind of a dated stereotype.
definitely dated. That said, there hangs in here posters and relics of that time when that stereotype existed.
Sure.
In the early Nintendo.
It's a culture that it's fun to embrace.
With Justin, I learned a lot about how the business side of Good Game works, and I learned a lot about the history of Good Game too, but this documentary is pressed for time, and it's also more about how Geneva and HWS and Good Game all connect, so I'd like to round out the documentary by focusing on our last person, Quentin. Some of you may know him from Saga. When you go to Good Game, what do you like to do?
Oh,
Do you show up there at random or with friends? Or?
usually at random.
Nice.
Depends. Sometimes me and a couple of guys will plan on going down there, but a lot of times, as seen, I go down there, I bring my station. Other people bring their stations down there. Sometimes we play Magic. Sometimes we play sometimes we play board games. On Sundays we do bad movie nights.
Oh, that's great.
So if we find a really bad movie we want to watch on Sunday, we go down there and we watch a really bad movie just for fun.
That's awesome.
So
I
just,
love
just
bad
stuff
movies.
just stuff like that. Like that's the majority of what we do down there.
I never knew about the bad movies.
Oh, yeah.
That's so on the projector screen, everyone gathers around.
Oh no, like usually on the TV that you usually see me at, we'll put it on there.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
one of the owners, Justin, he'll get his laptop and we'll find a really bad movie, or that we'll put it on a disc and we'll watch it on there.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's really fun. Makes you appreciate some of the other movies that come out.
Yeah. Quentin told me about how some of the older guys at Good Game like to hang out and how he came into doing so. And he also told me a funny, embarrassing story of a video game tournament there when he thought his friend had won, but it wasn't actually over yet. these are things that I would love to include in a longer version of this video, but for now I have to conclude that Good Game, not to be a puff piece, but it's a place that serves everybody. Justin told me a story of the Christian establishment that works next door bringing kids over and how the kids love to get lost in the walls and walls of games. He also told me a story about someone bringing a shotgun into the store and him having to tell them to cool it. There's a lot that goes on here, but it's just so great, and it's such a gem that exists in such a town that you wouldn't expect to have it, you know?